happened to her and all this other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit, it's still as much as we've seen all these characters in about 7 seasons worth of television, we still don't know a lot about them. A lot of them are still mysteries. Like, Jon Snow is still a fucking complete mystery to most of us. Like, we don't know who his parents are. We don't really know how he was raised, though. You know what I'm saying? Everything is still a mystery. I think that's one of the biggest draws to the show. Speaking of Jon Snow,
is he Ned Stark's son? You know what I mean?
Like, according to that vision that Bran had last year, we know that he is not Ned Stark's son. He's a Stark, but he's not Ned Stark's son.
All right.
Yeah. So speaking of Jon Snow, going into the scene, the next scene, which where Jon's at the sort of the head of council at that meeting with all the other northern families.
Yep.
And they're kind of discussing, okay, where do we go from now? How exactly are we gonna approach and get ready for this war that's coming, and the winter war that is coming, so to speak. So, an interesting thing happened. Sansa decided to kind of budge in and kind of play her cards and show him that, like, hey, you know, maybe we should probably get rid of the Umbers and the Karstarks, which, for those of you who don't know, the Umbers and the Karstarks were one of the 2 northern families that actually betrayed the Starks and rode out with Roose Bolton and Ramsay Bolton against the Starks. So Sansa actually wanted to get rid of both of those family homes and give it to other families that decide to help the Starks get back at the Boltons and whatnot. So this brought apart an interesting dilemma, I think, in my opinion, because it's like, okay, what do you do? Do you actually punish the entire families for the sort of reaction of their leaders? Or do you just, you know what I'm saying? Or do you just, since the leaders can't pay for their fucking crimes, do you just let bygones be bygones and let the family keep the homes? What do you think?
Honestly, yeah. But, you know, in that day, in that era, like, Sansa's seen some shit. And you know how she said she admitted to Jon that she learned things from Cersei. So I'm like, yo, maybe she's like she's on some cutthroat shit. Like, she's tired of like her family dying, getting betrayed by other people and stuff like that. But at the same time, Jon is like the most honorable character besides like Ned Stark. It's like all. You know what I mean?
But you see what honor gets you in Game of Thrones. That shit gets you a fucking dagger in your neck and a fucking...
Ned dead, Robb dead.
Ned's dead. Ned was super honorable dead. Robb was super honorable dead. Catherine super honorable dead. Everybody who's honorable dies in this damn show. So we see where honor gets you. So I guess that's where Sansa was kind of playing at him with when she was asking him, like, yo, like, don't be dumb like Dad. Don't be dumb like Robb. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to play this game the way it's kind of, you have to play it. It's a dirty game. It's like politics. To kind of get into politics, you kind of have to play like you got to be a dirty politician, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? If you actually try to go there and be an honorable person and be an honest person, you're not going to fucking win. You're not going to win an election, or you're not going to be able to succeed in this type of game. Yes. So I think she had a good point. I think both of them had fair points. But I tend to probably agree with Jon simply because of the fact that if the leaders were still alive, if the head of both houses were still alive and didn't die in the war, they would both be beheaded, and the house will be able to go on and live on.
So why would you get rid of the kids? And
exactly. So why would you displace women and kids and everybody else for somebody else's decision? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt about that. And so. Then
all the kids, they were ready to fight, and they pledged their allegiance right then and there. So,
well, I mean, they also had no choice at this point. I mean, who are you gonna ride for? Cersei, who's fucking 10,000 miles away from you at this point, or the King of the North, the interim King of the North?
They seen what he did. You know what
exactly. They see what Jon Snow about. So, I would tend to see that they would probably ride with Jon Snow. Going into the next. Brother and sister scene, the Cersei and Jaime scene. What you thought about that scene, that dynamic? Do you think that Jaime's pissed at her at all for the shit that happened with Tommen?
No, I don't think he's pissed. I think what's in his head right now is that curse that they've been trying to avoid. Remember?
I don't think he knows about that curse.
He doesn't know?
I don't think he knows about that curse. I think that's just a prophecy that she was told. Because she went into, I think it was Maggie the Frog, who was the lady who told her, I guess she was the witch that told her this prophecy. and she went in there with one of her servants, and I don't think she told anybody this shit.
Because I feel like it's literally going to happen. They're like all.
It did happen. What you mean? Everybody died.
Yeah.
All her children died.
She got to be next.
The daughter died. Both of the sons died. Joffrey got poisoned by Olenna.
She's on Arya's list.
Tommen killed himself, and yeah, she's on Arya's list. And but Arya's coming for that ass.
But still the same. I feel like that dynamic between Jaime and Cersei, it's totally broken. Like at some point, there's going to be like some type of strain already. Because I feel like
if there isn't already,
he already has his hand missing, and it's his dominant hand. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think like she's feeling different. I think like in terms of like letting him lead. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think she's gonna be like sort of the pants in this relationship right now. Because she's making all the sort of the stern decisions and the much harder choices, so to speak. So I could definitely see why you would think that. Like he's kind of playing the back seat. Just similar, like fast forward a little bit to the scene with Euron in there. You seen how he was just behind her. She was sitting at in the queen's chair or the king's chair or whatever, and she was kind of negotiating with Euron. Jaime was just putting in his little his 2 cents. But for the most part, she was kind of giving him the, like, you know what, declining his offer and kind of negotiating what exactly how they're gonna move forward and going against the North and everybody else that all their enemies, all the traitors, so to speak. So I think that's gonna be interesting. That dynamic between Cersei and Jaime going forward this season, because we know one of them is gonna die this season,
definitely,
if not both of them, but one of them is gonna die. I already got an R.I.P. Cersei
My
shirt.
kill count for important characters, I think about at least 7.
7?
At least 7 important characters.
I don't even think there's 7 characters
season.
left, bro.
Everybody. Sandor.
Nah, I don't think Sandor's going to die. He didn't die the first time, so why they going to kill him now?
He might go out honorably.
All right, but let's get back on track here. So after that that Cersei and Jaime scene, we kind of fast forwarded right into the Euron Greyjoy scene. The cocky son of a bitch, fucking 90s rock star himself.
Yeah, he takes narcissism to like
that dude
fucking max level.
Don't he look like he was a fucking part of fucking Incubus or Matchbox 20 or some shit?
Yeah, like where you get that jacket from?
Them pants was crazy though. He had some leather tights on that just screamed like fucking 90s rock to me. I don't know why.
It's like Negan's ancestor.
He's looking crazy.
Like I don't know where you got that.
He talk a big game, but do you really think he really has that power or has any power, so to speak?
He got them ships.
I mean, his ships are nice. Them ships didn't even look wood. They look fucking titanium.
Got like some Bugatti ships. I'm telling you, he got So I'm like, how he got them ships, bro? So it's like, he might be Snake Plissken.
He might be alright. So, well, what do you think this gift he has for the queen is going to be?
So he already got ships, plenty of them. She don't want them.
I mean, I think she wants them. She just don't want it at the price of marrying him.
It's not like wealth or nothing like that.